customer, the thing I want you to know is this is about delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another Xvault gaming video. Xvault here, and today what we're going to do is go over that delicious salt that we so apparently continue to get. And on top of that, they continue to break ceilings. They continue to raise these delusions beyond heights unknown. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to it. Alright, so like I was saying, what we do is we have a plethora of salt here today just for your first helping of the salty batch files for the week. And of course, we have to feature Extension, the Andrea Piccinini, Catfish, Joseph Cruz, aka all that stuff. Stating, as you can see here, breaking in all caps, Sony paid timed exclusivity on Black Myth Wukong, parentheses, evidence suggests. No, you suggest, as well as your delusional cultists. But let's continue with your little highlights here. Xbox, Hellblade 2 is the top visual showcase of the generation. Does that make it a great game? Answer is no. Next, Wukong, the second best looking game. Have you played the entirety of the game? Looks great, but again, more assumptions from a delusional cultist. PlayStation Studios have no big title this year to come even close. Okay. To Hellblade 2? Let's find out what happens when we have Astrobot sales versus Hellblade 2. A, quote, kiddie game by the Xbox fanatics out there that are and have been drooling over the fact that they are not getting Lego Horizon and chalking that off as a kiddie game, but Astrobot alone is going to sell mountain tons, as well as Lego Horizon. That is a, quote, multi-platform game at this point, as you all like to claim over there, which that one is. But again, all right, but let's keep going here because this is insane. Sony pays exclusivity to have some form of response against Xbox. So again, evidence suggesting, according to a delusional cultist, that Sony has therefore paid for a timed exclusivity. No, actual quotes from the devs from Wukong. PC and PS5 users can enjoy the full game starting August 20th, 2024. Game Science said in its statement, Game Science did, and then quoted, "We are currently optimizing the Xbox Series X and S version to meet our quality standards, so it won't release simultaneously with other platforms." In no way, shape, or form is Game Science going to go out there and lie to the community for no reason. If there was a timed exclusivity clause, it will just simply state that. There's not going to be huge comments, there will be minor comments, just like the Final Fantasy VII Remake, Rebirth, stuff like that for recent memory if you're following along. So again, they just want to make things up to save face for their dying brand. And I hate to say their dying brand. And when I say dying brand, I mean their dying brand as far as hardware is considered. And we'll get over that or get to that here in just a moment. But absolute delusion at its finest, saltiness at its finest, still trying to use Hellblade that came and went like a fart in the wind, by the way. But let's continue here. Good old Darius Fears, the failed actor, the gentleman that sits there and shills just as hard as anybody else on the Xbox fanatic side. I had a feeling Sony PlayStation money had Black Myth Wukong and made them lie. When they announced it, it was only coming to PS5 and PC. Yes, because Sony made them. They broke into their headquarters and said, look, we have this belt here, and we're going to choke you out if you do not announce this as a PC and PS5 exclusive, that it's coming to them only. If Microsoft did this, they would have been executed by the people on Twitter. The people on Twitter. With just a shrugging emoji. That's what I'm doing, is shrugging. I don't understand where you're even getting this from. PlayStation always gets leeway. Is that right? Is that why they got approved to get the biggest acquisition of all time, which was ABK, and then, of course, before that, ZeniMax and everything under the umbrella? But PlayStation has leeway in regards to made-up accusations. Is that what's going on here? I mean, holy crap, the salt from not getting Wukong day one, because a lot of Xbox fanatics and fanboys out there simply stating they couldn't wait to get their hands on it. They knew it was going to be multi-platform, and after it was announced, oh, they're not getting it day one, yet again, due to the optimization of their Series S and X, due to the fact that this isn't the first time that a game has had to be delayed releasing on their system due to parity clauses and other optimization issues. But here we go, more made-up delusion here, you gotta love it. Oh my gosh, let's go over... let's take a trip back from the previous video, by the way. We're going to talk about Marvel vs. Capcom collection here, but Kareem here, as you say, as you can see, hi Xbox P3, Phil Spencer himself. You think Marvel vs. Capcom collection will be a reality on the Xbox? Praying emojis. Port begging, praying emojis. The top of the cream right here. And reposting his shout out to the PlayStation bros and sisters who are helping out the X bros and sisters by signing the petition to bring the Marvel vs. Capcom collection Xbox, yada yada. Said it was a long shot, all that stuff. Not letting it go. I mean, good on him for that. But, you know, again, you supposedly have a PlayStation. If you put your loyalties and allegiances to the side and it's all about the games, why are you not playing on a platform that has those games? And I'm not even saying it has to be PlayStation. It can be PC. I can mention Switch, but, you know, I'm sure the game will work fine on that. But if you want it to work in the best of its abilities, yes, I would play it probably on another platform like PlayStation or PC in the meantime. But, you know, this isn't the first time Limited Run Games has been doing this sort of stuff, as well as other, you know, companies like Capcom and et cetera, right? It just baffles me to sit there and shill so hard. And you know deep down they're playing the game, and they're just not mentioning it on another platform. They just have to shill so hard, that's what's giving them the followers, and so on and so forth. But let's keep going here. It doesn't end here. So, now, Extension's back, the Catfish is back already with a double entendre of GOAT Gaming. Everybody loves Cloudman here. Not really. So he states, of course, more people were capping Stellar Blade on Twitter for agenda purposes than the people who actually bought it and played it. Being PS5 only ruined its sales. PC port coming soon for sure. That was always in the cards that it would eventually go to PC. Don't know where you're going at there. But like Goat says here, he says, according to sources, PlayStation Stellar Blade has completely flopped, selling barely 1 million copies, which it sold well over 1 million copies, by the way. Developer Shift Up is hoping the PC version can save the company. PS fans are begging gamers to buy the game and save Shift Up. So if you don't know Goat Gaming, I featured him multiple times on this channel. He consistently lies. He just makes up these statements and stuff all the time, not direct from anybody. And those that are more casual fall for it every time. That's why I dislike stuff like that, and I will feature him time and time again on my channel, whether it does anything or not. At least it brings a few of you out there that watch this channel to the truth of it, right? So let's clarify real quick here. Mr. Saltine has to consistently make things up in order to make your platform of choice look better, right? Stellar Blade, again, made well over 1 million copies. Just over 2 million copies were sold over multiple months with a game like Dragon's Dogma that was on multiple platforms, PlayStation, Xbox, and again PC. But 1 million copies for a PlayStation 5 ecosystem that still has half of the users that are still back on PS4, by the way, because a lot of folks, they cannot upgrade to the new PlayStation console. May not be in the funds, may just be waiting, they might be more casual like, that's all totally fine. But the fact remains, ultimately, those sales are actually really impressive, especially for a brand new IP. The salt is real with these two. It doesn't end, of course. And you can see here at the bottom, right? As well, they go over all this here, and I'm just going to go over the highlighted part here. Of course, copies, the Stellar Blade is estimated to have sold over 1 million copies worldwide since its release, calling it a smooth first step for the game as a major global IP, just to kind of back that up. It's just the truth. You have to look for the answers, unfortunately. Just be careful who you follow, what you see all the time. It's not always so black and white, right? Oh man. So let's pull up a Colt one here. This is great as well. We can't do anything without Colt here, of course. So Colt Eastwood, congrats to Shift Up Stellar Blade for hitting 1 million sales. The new IP already reached 1.6% of the PS5 install base. PC version is in the works and a sequel is being planned. You have my sword. And then, of course, down at the bottom, Jerry Pandaman. Congratulations on Starfield reaching 4.21% of users, 132 million Steam and 200 million Xbox. Speaks for itself here, I think. I like how he has to, like I said, go into Colt's thing here. Reached 1.6% of the PS5 install base. Trying to put a dig, if you're not following along, trying to put a dig in there. Hypercharge recently came out, that's an indie game. First time coming to Xbox. Sold over the same amount of time. Almost. But only 100,000 copies, but Stellar Blade, again, just not doing as well. I think it speaks volumes that if you're talking about that type of an install base, and Stellar Blade sells that much, egg on your face there, my guys. Egg on your face. But let's keep going here, because the newest thing here, by the way, is that Microsoft recently announced that, yes, they went in collaboration with Amazon, partnerships, stuff like that, in order to get Game Pass on some of their accessories and devices, which, you guessed it, Amazon Fire Sticks here. So, guess what the Xbox community fanatics are running around with, touting something amazing for this, stating an Xbox console from Nico here, as you can say. So now, it's an Xbox console here. If that's... And this is for streaming only, guys, by the way. No downloading, no anything like that. This is pure Game Pass and streaming. So if you're counting this as a console, are we counting cell phones? Are we counting Chromebooks? Are we counting PCs and stuff like you've all said? I mean, at this case, you should have a huge install base, so those numbers for Game Pass have got to be going up. Is that right? We'll have to wait and see on that, but let's keep going with this here. So, Xbox Series XS, they have quite a bit here, but... And just like that, poof, Amazon Fire Stick is now part of the Xbox ecosystem. Great. Again, if anybody's used their streaming system for cloud gaming via Game Pass, it's the latency is very noticeable on most of their games, especially even with high speeds. It's not the greatest. I have checked it out. I'm not just saying that. Just to throw some dirt somewhere, right? It's not quite there. I mean, eventually, for sure, it can be right there and things will be great in the future. It's just right now, not so much. So I just getting so hyped, I don't know very many users that do stream. I'd like to see that data. And then he goes on, Phil, our games are coming to more platforms today, Xbox and Amazon Fire Stick, Xbox first party bangers everywhere. I really love these because it's just, I want to see how this needle moves. I just don't know if Amazon Fire Sticks are going to move the Game Pass needle. I really find it comical, but we'll see. And then, of course, no way, more than 50 million monthly active viewers outside worldwide use Fire Stick to access their favorite content. Xbox plus Game Pass plus Amazon equals worldwide. So again, just because people have the Fire Stick does not mean that they are going to use it for gaming purposes or specifically for Game Pass. The Game Pass has been on Samsung TVs and other devices for streaming for quite some time. Phones being the easiest because most people have adequate phones that can run that for whatever reason, and we haven't seen that make a difference, but you're banking on Amazon Fire Sticks, making sure that's the reason. All right, then. Let's go over here as well. I think this is great. Pretzel Jones here. Pretzel, I know I found some posts of his back in the past that he makes this persona. He's actually a PlayStation dude, but he does this for engagement and farming and for fun. So I don't know if he's really an Xbox dude, but either way, I honestly don't mind him because he's actually pretty smart and witty, but here we go. Make it make sense. Using $40 Fire Stick to stream games on another big screen? Nah. Using $200 Portal to stream games on 8-inch screen? Yeah, with the Drake meme, right? And then, of course, Colt tags in there on top of that. Amazon Fire Sticks don't get counted as a PS5 console sale, smiley face, trying to make a dig that people were saying, because we did have some analysts stating that at first the PlayStation portals were being associated with counting as a console sale. Some thought that it was being counted as a PS5 sale. There's never been clear direction on that, if it was counted as a PS5 sale, but it was being counted, yes, as a console sale. First, because they didn't differentiate it at first. That's the market side of things. Sony did not try to push that to make it as a console sale. They did, in turn, not too long after that statement was made by a couple analysts, Matt Pescatella, if I can say his name right now, was the one to break that news. But then he also came around and stated that, you know what, it has been changed. It is now considered an accessory. And as you can see here, this is what I'm showing here from Matt Pescatella here. So take a look at that. That's what's going on. But they're still running with this because this is brand new. This is after the fact that Matt came out and stated and corrected all of that as well. Saltiness much, they're really grasping on to Amazon Fire Sticks. Like, that's a W. I don't see that as being a W. I don't. I mean, we'll just have to see. We'll have to see. But yeah, yikes there. But as you can see, clearly we have that example from Matt. And like he said, it was never grouped with PS5 because it's not a PS5. So again, like I stated, it was maybe for a very short time counted as its separate console. But no, PlayStation 5s themselves do account for the sales. They do fly off the shelves, folks. And why do those fly off the shelves? Because games. The games is what makes you invest into an ecosystem. It's not always just the hardware. What do you provide in that ecosystem? The games. I say it's all, all so often, right? But that being said, we'll wrap up the video here, folks. I really appreciate if you stuck around to the entirety of the end. I really appreciate that. We are getting so close to that 2,000 subscriber goal. At this point in time of recording, we are at 1,903 subscribers at that 2,000 goal. We are so close there. Thank you all so much. If you haven't already, like the video. I'd love to hear from you. Comment down below. Those two things do help out the algorithm. If you haven't already, definitely consider subscribing, helping out a small content creator like myself. And if you want to continue for someone to actually be truthful and tell you the truth, that's what I'm here for. So thank you again. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. And just remember, don't be a salty batch. And we'll see y'all next time on the next Xvault gaming video. Take care.